Good evening. It was a stunning verdict to many. South African Paralympian Oscar Pistorius found not guilty of murdering his model girlfriend today, even though he admits he shot her through a bathroom door. But this case is not over yet. More verdicts expected in the next few hours on additional charges that could still land him behind bars for many years. ABC's Matt Gutman is in Pretoria, South Africa.
Today, Oscar Pistorius walked into court, a man facing life in prison.
Oscar, are you feeling confident today?
For shooting and killing his model girlfriend, Tria Steenkamp. But in a controversial ruling, the judge found the former Olympian not guilty of the most serious charge, murder.
There are just not enough facts to support such a finding.
As she laboriously read the decision, which at times outright supported the defense, Pistorius began weeping in the front bench, and Tria Steenkamp's family craning forward, hanging on every word. But their tragic ordeal not over yet. Pistorius will return to court tomorrow to hear the judge's final verdict on the lesser charge of culpable homicide, in effect manslaughter, and 3 additional weapons and ammunition charges. If convicted on all those counts, he could still end up sentenced to as much as decades behind bars, or the Blade Runner could walk away not serving a single day in prison.
Whether he sees a day inside a jail after he's been sentenced, I think is actually quite unlikely.
It was a trial that spanned 7 months, punctuated by tears.
She wasn't breathing.
Recriminations.
You killed a person, that's what you did, isn't it?
I made a mistake.
You killed Tria Steenkamp, that's what you did.
And even a remorseful admission.
Say yes. I shot and killed Tria Steenkamp.
I did, my lady.
Okay.
Her friends, like Stacey Holland, can't believe she's gone.
It still feels surreal. It just feels like it didn't happen. It feels like it couldn't have happened.
Since Valentine's Day last year, the spotlight ceaselessly on Pistorius, who may have broken the world's record for the most emotive defendant, filling the courtroom with his countless wails and whimpers.
Why would this question make you emotional?
Because this is a night I lost the person that I cared about. I don't know how people don't understand that.
Of course, the trial had another center of attention, notable for her absence.
Hi, my name is Tria.
Tonight, this U.S. exclusive, an audition video of Tria Steenkamp.
And tell me about your fitness. What do you do?
I'm a gym bunny.
Okay.
She grew up riding horses, went to law school, but was lured into modeling.
When you first saw her audition tapes, what was your impression?
Gorgeous.
Her agent, Sarit Tomlinson, speaking for the first time, says her easygoing demeanor belied her grit and focus.
She was magnificent. She was gorgeous. She was talented.
Soon she graced FHM magazine and on November 4th, 2012, captured the attention of South Africa's top bachelor, the Blade Runner. That night, their first date.
I'm Oscar's date tonight. He needed a date at the last minute, so it's like, Riva, just throw your stuff together and come and be my date.
Oscar told the court that he was immediately smitten.
I was very keen on Riva. I think, if anything, I was maybe more into her than she was at times with me.
Within weeks, they have pet nicknames for each other.
Boo, Bow, Angel, Rockstar.
By February 2013, their relationship appears picture perfect. Their stolen smooches captured on a closed-circuit camera at the supermarket. The day before Valentine's Day, Riva tweets, "What do you have up your sleeve for your love tomorrow?" For Pistorius, the answer was murder, according to the prosecution.
The prosecution's version is this is violent struggle, this is argument, and he knows exactly who it is that fled into the bathroom. And she didn't go in to use the toilet, she went in because she was fleeing from him.
Legal expert Matt Murphy walked me through a scale model of the scene of the crime, Oscar Pistorius' bathroom, to demonstrate the prosecutor's version of events. Riva was backed into a corner, defenseless.
And you go to this bathroom and you see inside, I mean, this is tiny. It's like shooting fish in a barrel with exploding bullets. I mean, you're in here and there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to hide.
She has no chance.
4 bullets later, Riva is dying. Pistorius puts on his prosthetics and returns to the bathroom and bashes down the door. But the defense countering it was not a woman screaming at all that night, but rather Pistorius' voice, high-pitched in his panic after accidentally shooting Riva. A neighbor testified about what she heard.
What was the crying like?
In her ruling, the judge discounted that testimony and of almost all those so-called ear witnesses, saying the only witness who mattered was Pistorius, who would testify that his disability and his traumatic childhood had influenced his response that night, and that he was convinced an intruder had invaded his home.
It was at that point that I was just overcome with fear, and I started screaming and shouting for the burglar or the intruders to get out of my house.
But as the prosecution seized upon during the trial, Pistorius did have an infatuation with guns.
You are a gun enthusiast. You come from a family with lots of guns, am I right?
That's correct.
50 or more, I read somewhere.
Prosecutor showing a video aired by Sky News of Pistorius on a gun range shooting a 9mm pistol, the one that would ultimately kill Steenkamp. And then there's Pistorius gleefully blasting away watermelons.
It's a lot softer than brain.
It exploded. Am I right?
That's correct.
He was using the same hollow point exploding bullets that killed Riva. The distraught Pistorius unravels.
As I picked Riva up, my fingers touched her head. I remember. I don't have to look at a picture. I was there.
That side of Pistorius, the raging, sometimes irrational and highly emotional young man, was something Trish Taylor, the mother of his ex-girlfriend Sam Taylor, saw so much of.
There was a lot of commotion in our relationship.
In her book, excerpts of which ABC News has exclusively obtained reveal that she says he would scream at his 17-year-old girlfriend Sam Taylor for failing to take her dishes to the sink.
I think Oscar was an accident waiting to happen.
Melinda Ferguson co-authored the book.
He was the bullet in the chamber, the Nike ad. The guy who was always something was going to happen. In a sense, it was all leading up to some tragedy.
Something Pistorius may have foreshadowed in emails he purportedly wrote to Trish Taylor. Most of my adult life, I'd had moments that I sabotaged the good that I have. And in a country where domestic violence is epidemic, court watchers worry about the judge's messaging.
Is this going to be controversial in this country?
It's going to be very controversial. I was on my way here. I heard a chap phone into a local radio station. He said very simply, this is going to be the excuse that every man uses to shoot his girlfriend. It's going to be legally justifiable. It is a terrible, terrible decision for our country.
But even as Pistorius left court, we heard his sound perhaps already heralding renewed acceptance for the fallen sports icon. Question now, whether he will walk free again tomorrow. I'm Matt Gutman for Nightline, Pretoria, South Africa.